Hello. There's the lamp. I'm going to leave it in today. It's Thursday the 16th. I just got up. Working on my first cup of coffee. Yes, indeed. You leave that line of caffeine and you suck on it. That's reality. Reality is not the picture that a lot of people try to paint through the media. Reality is real, and reality is rough right now. Yes, I've read all the comments on the last couple of videos. Hang in there, people. Yes, times are bleak and looking like they're going to get bleaker before they get better. No thanks to the leadership that we lack worldwide. You know, I really appreciate hearing from you folks from different parts of the world. Everywhere, New Zealand, all over the world. I appreciate hearing from you folks. I try to look at the news and information from around the world to try to have a perspective, because I know that, you know, going through the mainstream media is nothing but propaganda. So I'm just going to babble a little bit. I got some new music in. And Martin, if you see this, okay, can I do this? Yeah, okay, because I know that you like to share when I review your stuff that you send to me. Martin Archer from Discus Music. Let me go ahead and just try to kick into gear now, okay? I got some records yesterday, but I also got 2 new CDs from Discus Music. Martin Archer. And I can talk about this one, okay? I'm going to talk about it in first and third person. So, Martin, I'm talking to you and I'm talking to the audience. First off, Martin, hats off to you for being so tenacious about your interests and continuing to run your label and put out your releases and record music in spite of all this madness with the health. Of these 2, I got them yesterday, and like everything, I try to listen to everything, at least give it a cursory listen right away. Of the 2, the one that hits me in my sweet spot right away, and in a real good way, is the tian. Transcriptome. Transcriptome. Perhaps that's how you said transcriptome, like a tome. This is a 3-piece ensemble. Das Rad is 2, but these sound completely different. Martin is involved in both bands. This one is more immediately to my liking and enjoyment. I like to listen to music beyond enjoyment. I like to listen to music for education and enrichment as well. So I like to put that out. But this hits me in my sweet spot right away, tian. I like this right away, the way it's hit me, and can tell that I'll like it even more the more I hear it. The references that I hear, if I need to give some references, Martin, is I hear a bit of something between Faust and the future sound of London is happening with this. I like this. And to my ears, this is playing to the strengths of the unit. And one of the prime strengths of the unit is Martin Archer. Martin's playing on this. Sweet. Saxophones, melodica. The melodica is nice. Recorders, wood flute, and electronics. My initial impression of the tian is this, boy, it's great to be able to play it on CD because there's no problems. But there's something fun about playing records. This would be fun and expensive, but it'd be fun if this were on vinyl. This would be real fun. I like the graphics too. The other one has a pastiche of Chrysalis. I won't talk about that one today because I need to get into it. Das Rad. That's my second one by Das Rad. And I really need to spend some time with it. Kind of like the Jason Wheatley-Spock. That is funny how folks said that the lawnmower in the background sounded like I was playing the drone record. Life is full of little things like that I think are very cool, just how things happen. Today is a doing nothing day. I have some recording to do. I was listening last night to stuff to pick out my playlist for my next show. And a couple of parts where I hadn't finished the work came up to me, so I started working on some stuff last night, and I'll continue that today. The other thing on my mind is to share that the James Brown book is really well written. What a shame. What a shame what that man went through. James Brown. What a shame. So the other book that I find myself coming to just for, it just really works, is the Tao, the Way of Life, according to Lao Tzu. I've had this book since I was a teenager. Started to try to understand it then. Didn't make a lot of sense. Over the years, every time I pick this book up and just open it, I can open it almost anywhere, and what it's saying will make more sense, or will make sense in a way that it didn't before. One of the things that keeps popping up in here is how they, that's the copy, how they talk about what it means to be a leader and what a true leader is, and it's defined well in here. And we don't have any leaders that could stand up to this measure. Okay, it basically says what anyone with wisdom knows, that a good leader doesn't lead because of himself. He doesn't think of himself. His concerns are the least. It's the people he represents. We have the exact opposite of that right now, especially here in America. We have a megalomaniac, sociopath, son of a bitch, monster named Donald Trump. Pathetic piece of shit human being that he is. So, I got another order in, and going to slow down here for a bit. So I'm just going to show you what's here. Some of this I bought yesterday, and some of this is just sitting out to be played or got played. This is sitting out because I played it last night. Someone on the internet was showing Sensations Fix, Italian psych prog band. So I pulled this to post because it's one of their harder to find albums, Visions Fugitives. This was released in the United States on All Ears. Apparently it's hard to find, but I bought it right away. Played it all the way through last night. Just a strange band. Really cool. Really good. Franco Falsini, he's a friend of mine on Facebook. It's really good. Just find out about Sensations Fix. They don't sound like Pink Floyd, but if you like Pink Floyd, I bet you'll find something you like about this band. I have all their albums now, all of them. Played this last night. I just love this band. I also love the fact that I'm on a new release with the drummer from the band Faust. They're one of my favorite bands of all time. Ravvivando was this album. I love it. But Werner Diermeyer from Faust is on this new release along with me. Quarantine Report. It's on Bandcamp. Quarantine Report. But I'm on here, and so is a member of Faust and a member of Henry Cow. It just means something to me personally, you know. I like telling you about it, but played all of side one last night. I just love they go through periods where they're really on and off. This album is on. This makes a lovely racket, and the color and the choice of graphics really fits the timbre of this music. I love it. It also comes with a 10-inch, which I didn't play last night. I love Faust. Love Faust. Recently I showed on CD talking about Hectors That Zoo and Bikaye. Well, I was able to find a copy of it on vinyl, so I picked it up. Noir et Blanc by Zazou, Bikaye, and CY1. I highly recommend this album. This is groundbreaking. And this is great because it comes with a big book. I love how some of these reissues really go all out with the extras. This one tells the story behind this meeting between Bikaye and Hectors That Zoo. And I totally relate to it because it's this African guy who gets over to Europe to do some production work and shares with people, besides his love of his own music of Africa, that he's into krautrock and electronic music. And he talks about how he's met with incredulity and just disbelief by so many people because it seems like a novelty that a black person would have any interest in music outside of soul and jazz and gospel, which has always got on my nerves when I meet people. Oh, you must play jazz, you must play blues. Yeah, stick it up your ass. I'm a human being, motherfuckers. God damn it. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. And another brother, same way. This album is groundbreaking. It still sounds completely modern and now. And I haven't heard anyone else do a mixture of electronics and African like this yet. I haven't heard everything, but I try to listen to a lot. This is fantastic. Brings up that someone asked me about cassettes. I got a bunch of cassettes, but they're in boxes under the bed and in the closets. I'm not hauling them out. And they left a link, and I'm not going to bother with the link. I just said it, you know. Stop sending me these fucking links, you know. I get a little cross. I have my own way of looking for music, you know. And I'll say it again. And if it sounds shitty, too bad. You really want me to hear that? Send it to me. I appreciate everything that's sent to me. I don't like everything that's sent to me, but I appreciate it all. Okay, here's some more records that I got. Benoit Widemann, keyboardist. He was with Magma, Danar Brass, and other bands. Been after this for a while. Chris Cole, I know you watch. Chris has an original of this, and he was sharing he had just played it. Stress. This is kind of wild. Recently reissued. It's keyboards, not well recorded, but it's primarily synthesizers, but when the drums come in, it's not Christian Vander, but it's that type of drumming where it's very busy and almost frantic. That's why I use the term wild on this album. This is one to explore more because it's kind of different. I like different. Benoit Widemann, Stress. My friend Patrick Gauthier is on here. Patrick, if you happen to watch the videos, hello, that just blows my mind to be friends with some of you people. I just heard from Manny Neumeier of Guru. Sent me a personal happy birthday, personal message with a little conversation in it. That stuff means just so much to me. It's no big deal to anybody else, but you know, I do like telling you. This was just re-released, and I grabbed it right away. Mrs. Beastly, Space Gorilla. Garden of Delights is a good label. This is a good album, and this is a good band. Jazzy, jazz rock, but these guys can play. I pulled it because I'd recently bought this other Mrs. Beastly album with the terrible cover, also on Garden of Delights. And this one is an improvement, a big improvement. Big improvement. Playing is much better on this. And I have a low number. Number 39 out of however many they made. Once again, this comes with a huge booklet. I love it. I haven't even really jumped into it yet. But Garden of Delights is real good at this, with the booklets where they show the entire discography and flyers and try to give you all this trivia stuff for us eggheads, because we love it. But this Mrs. Beastly is very good jazz rock. Well played and variety. And the other thing I like about it is they're not trying to sound like Chick Corea. They're not trying to sound like Herbie Hancock. They have their own sound. That's what I'm after. Give me what you have. Been wanting this for a while. An English band that went to Germany, I think, to get going. This is really good. Odin. Been wanting this for a long time. Odin. Do you know this one? Prague. This is Prague. I love this because it has those heavy organ parts, and then it has those beyond noodly. Not noodly like Rick Wakeman, but noodly in that they are these interesting kind of riffy things that are set up on the keyboards that are totally prog. But they're interesting ideas. They're beyond noodly. It's like, oh, we're onto something here. And that they do that on here. Plus, they do, they can write like Zappa. There's a piece on here that I thought, that sounds completely like Frank Zappa. And it's a compliment, you know, the like with the percussion and marimbas. Odin, real glad, a brand new reissue. Just I grabbed it right away. Here's one that I sat on the fence for a while. I knew about it for a while. I'm glad I went ahead and got it. Jarka, out of Spain. This is a reissue. Morgue or Berenice, related to the band Om, not the American Om, the Spanish band Om. This isn't prog, this is jazz, and it's pretty good. Jordi, the pianist on here, who started out as a drummer, he's already got chops on here already. This is good. Jarka. Now this was marked down, which was another reason why I bought it. Wawa is a reissue label that I have found to be interesting. It's like they know what they're doing, but it's like some of the stuff is so obscure. And like the Om album that I have, the Spanish band Om. I still need to get into that because mostly it's been rather unsatisfying when I listen to it. It's like this is kids trying to make music and it's rough, but this will make me go back to it because this is really good. Jarka. Didn't have this. I got two more to show that I got in. Art Zoyd. Theory Zabwatzep, the bass player cellist, is a friend of mine on Facebook. I like sharing that. This is I believe this is their second album, a reissue of it, Generation Sans Future. This music is dark and ponderous, but it's very, very thick and full of information. This is Art Zoyd is something to. I think this music makes you stronger, makes me stronger. I don't know how else to put it. There's something informed about the way that this music comes out. It's like without words, it's educating you. Yeah, this is one example of music that takes you to a higher place, or it intensifies. The last thing I got in my order yesterday, been wanting their records for a while. I want the first one, but I got the second one. Verto, Real 1936. Again, related to Zool. Benoit Widemann is on here. This one is more guitar oriented, kind of like Helden. Wild stuff. This stuff is really good. I love it. It's just not American sounding at all, which I love. Not trying to copy Americans at all, even though there's influences from English and American in this, but they take it and do their own thing with it. Someone had showed this Middle Eastern band, Minimal Compact. Don't play them much, but I pulled this yesterday and really enjoyed this. Nil Nil. It's a remix. Minimal Compact. I think they're partially Israeli and Iranian or something. I'm not sure, but oversized label. I've got a couple of these where the label is oversized like that. Red vinyl. Kind of cool looking. But this is good. Post-punk. That's kind of meaningless, but when I say that, some of you know what I mean. I have several of their records. I didn't play this, but I pulled it. I think this is a, it's a Russell Mills cover. Immigrant Songs, another Minimal Compact. Beautiful cover. Isn't that beautiful? I haven't played it, but I pulled it when I was, getting the other one. That's the latest on the music. Sara Records came up somehow, and I have some Sara singles. You guys know that English label, Twee Pop? But they're really collectible. I looked this up. The Orchids, I have one of their albums, and I have this single on Sara. This is an original Sara single. I see this listed for anywhere from $200 to $300 for this single. I'm not selling it, but I just find that intriguing. How some things become so valuable and why. And I don't know why. Do any of you know why the Sara Records catalog, why some of it is so valuable? Like this one. I don't. I kind of like the record. It's not the sort of thing I'm listening to anymore. I went through a period where I was really embracing lo-fi, twee, and bed-sit music, just primarily because I was into the idea that, well, music has been liberated. It's truly in the hands of the people where it should be, and everyone is making music and releasing it. For a time, that was really fascinating to me, and I was listening with big ears to everything. As time goes on, and you get tired of hearing half-baked shit, But that's when the Orchids and Sara was catching my interest. I have several Sara singles. That's what I have to say today. It's 22 minutes already. Keep talking to me, people. Stay strong. Like I'm saying, I'm just being real with myself. Just steeling myself for the next, I don't know, I hope to live a long time. But I know that the near future, next months and years are going to be rough. You think it's weird now? It's going to get weird. And what's unfortunate to me, from my perspective, is the mainstream media, which is owned by the 1/10 of 1%, who are disconnected from humanity. Obviously, all they care about is the gold. That's a big problem, is that they have their hand on the rudder and they are disconnected from humanity. They have the good life, or what, they're in control, and it's going to stay that way. And they're destroying everything. I'm not overstating it. I'm really trying to put it out there to see if I can help with a wake-up call. Is that possible, that we could get enough, somehow get something going where we can start to eliminate these greed-headed monsters, get them out of office, get the world back in order? Or was it ever in order? Get it in order.